Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Wesley the Mile High Mouth, and today, for Suki Nihon, we are looking at episode 33 of season 7 of Adventure Time. This episode is called Normal Man. Normal Man. It makes me think of that joke in the first episode of Gravity Falls with the gnomes and the... Yeah, that's what it makes me think of. But it's actually about Magic Man, who, last we checked, lost all of his magic, his magical sadness and madness, to Betty, who's been doing her own thing. And, well, let's see. What's he up to? Well, it starts out where he's sending the Tiny Manticore, the one that Finn and Jake freed, into space to retrieve Glob, or rather the head of Glob. After Glob, and all that other stuff were hit by the whole meteor, comet, Orgolorg thing at the end of season 6, everyone figured they were dead. Apparently they're not. So Magic Man's, or rather Normal Man as he's calling himself now, is all like, go and retrieve this for me. So Tiny Manticore does it. Then Tiny Manticore double crosses him and takes the head of Glob, or rather Glob, up to a mountain far, far away. So Magic Man comes over and enlists Jake and Finn to go ahead and help him cross this mountain and retrieve his brother. Spoilers aside, they get up to the top there after all sorts of magical slapstick and weird puns and humor. And Normal Man, yeah, pretty much like he takes on the Tiny Manticore and he retrieves his brother's head, or rather his brother, and he's falling to his death. And the Tiny Manticore changes his mind because, well, being normal and not being mad or sad anymore, Magic Man, or rather Normal Man, isn't a jerk. He just sounds like one. So the Tiny Manticore and Normal Man and Glob all make up. They're friends now, and Normal Man decides to take Glob back to Mars to rule Mars. Glob, about halfway through this, decides, nope, I'm going to stay here and circle around Ooh with the rest of my other parts. And Normal Man ends up becoming the ruler of Mars. And that's it. That's what happens in the episode. It's actually very, very simple, but it's actually really, really funny. There's a lot of bits of humor in here, lots of physical humor and slapstick humor here, especially with the boomerang, and especially with the various obstacles that are around this mountain of traps, hidden traps, all sorts of traps, like rocks that look like monsters that look like rocks, and a squirrel that doesn't like Jake. There's just some weird stuff in here. It's a pretty funny episode. Lots of good slapstick. I thought the animation was pretty good. But overall, I don't know where it would fit in the overall story. It's one of the weaker episodes of the season. Even though all this season seems to be about reconciliation. I mean, you had that whole stakes section where Marceline was reconciling with her past. Then there was one thing that's kind of interesting. There's like this side joke where I guess Lemongrab and Lumpy Space Princess are out on a, quote, date, end quote. I don't know what's going on there, and I'm a little worried about that in the future. But yeah, it was just pretty funny. Lots of great little sight gags and interesting stuff happens. Overall, fairly actiony, which is good. Just a fairly light episode. But yeah, like I was saying, a lot of this season seems to be reconciliation. You have Princess Bubblegum with her brother Nettie. You have the whole King of Ooh saga thing. You have Finn and Jake and Jake's kids. Lots of reconciliation between there. A lot of character growth in this season, and I'm loving that. I like that a lot. Like last episode, Bun Bun, where we had Flame Princess and Finn finally make up and forgive each. He finally got her to forgive him, which is good. And in this one, Magic Man, despite being kind of a jerk, when he doesn't have that magical sadness and madness, he's just a guy with an annoying voice. I know how that is. And anyways, he's actually able to reconcile with everyone he's wronged for the most part. He's working on it. A lot of this season is more of, yeah, a lot of this stuff has been terrible, but we're working on it, which I like. Pretty good episode. What do you think of this episode? Hit those comments below and let me know. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until the next episode comes out, you are now caught up.